Good evening, everyone. It's about 10 after 6 here. I'm student meteorologist Eric Drewitz with Weather International. Currently over in Baghdad, it's about 1:10 in the morning, now 1:11. Same with Kuwait City. And then over in Tehran, it's about 2:41 in the morning. Yeah, this time zone boundary is a little weird like that. But anyway, this is the area where I'm going to be forecasting for because there's extreme heat, world record breaking heat indices occurring around this area as we speak. So currently now we're going to go into the 500 millibar wind analysis, and currently let's just zoom back to North America just to start off, just talking about the pattern. And currently it looks like we don't have much in the way of meridional flow over the Pacific Ocean. It looks pretty zonal, not much in the way of troughs or ridges, and then that kind of correlates to the PNA right now pretty much being about zero. And as you see over in the eastern part of North America here, we have this upper level low over the Hudson Bay area with a weak trough here in the eastern part of North America, which does correlate to about a NAO index of -1. So negative NAO means cooler than normal temperatures, trough in the east most of the time. However, teleconnections are not as dominant in the summer as they are in the winter. Now, just going over the Atlantic Ocean, we have this nice upper level trough here in the middle of the Atlantic with a Azores high pressure system just to the southeast of it, enhancing our ridge right to the southeast, which will enhance a trough over Western Europe and into in Spain especially. And now looking at the Middle East area, around the northern section of the Persian Gulf is where I'm really going to be mainly looking at. You have this big dome of high pressure here, which is making things get really hot. But if we go even higher up to 250 millibars, so let that load up, it's going to be even more prevalent. You see this huge clockwise flow around this area. Now, this upper level high is what's really driving this intense heat around the Iraq and Iran border. So what this is doing is air parcels inside high pressure systems sink. Now, sinking air warms due to compression, just like how Chinook effects work on the on the leeward side of the Rocky Mountains in the continental United States. So what's the big player in all this heat is this big upper level ridge, this big dome of high pressure aloft, because that's going to create a lot of daytime heating with air warming due to compression, as well as if we look at current satellite over the area, you know, it's very clear skies around here. So, you know, sunlight will be very bright, very powerful in this area. It's, you know, there's nothing blocking it, nothing shielding this area from the sunlight. And now looking at the current conditions over the area, you know, we have this is temperatures. So we have 93 degrees here around Bandar. We have about 95 in Basra. Around Kuwait City we have 97, and a little bit to the west of Kuwait City we even have some triple digits. And again, it's like after 1 in the morning at these places, so it's still really hot. I mean, triple digit heat at 1 in the morning is not common. I mean, in the United States, triple digit heat usually would occur in the hottest part of the day, which is usually between 2 and 4 p.m. Right now here it's about a little bit after 1 a.m. So just to put that into perspective for all of you. Now going into the dew points, I mean, again, you know, in the southeastern United States and the Gulf Coast region, dew points usually would approach 80, but not even reach 80 most of the time. Usually the highest dew points in the United States are ranging between 75 and 80 degrees in the midsummer, which is usually found in the southeast areas like Florida. But these dew points kind of trump those because these are in the middle to upper 80s. So, for example, over here by Bandar, we have a temperature of 93 degrees. We have a dew point of 84, which makes a heat index about 121 degrees. And this now over here in Iran, it's after 2 in the morning. So, heat index of 121 degrees is very extreme. Like, I can't even describe to you in words how extreme that is, because heat indices like that would normally be reached again in the hottest part of the day here in the continental U.S. And again, you know, the dew points are very high only near the Persian Gulf, but as you see, as you kind of get a little bit away from it, it really drops off, and that's because the Middle East is very arid. It's pretty much a desert. So the only places that really get the moisture is around the Persian Gulf and around the immediate coast. When you get inland a bit, it's still going to be very hot, but it'll be a dry heat. But still, it's very excessive. So now going into some of the model data here, this is the 12Z run of the ECMWF for the European model, and then here's the 12Z run of the GFS or the Global Forecast System. And first we'll start out with looking at the 500 millibar heights and vorticity and winds. And as you see, we have huge ridging occurring over the northern sections of the Persian Gulf region. You know, heights of 588 to 594 decameter. So very, very, very strong ridge. Does not look like it's going to be breaking up anytime soon. And again, going into the European, pretty much agrees with the GFS that you have that 588 decameter ridge and that 594, and it's really just really not. It's really persisting. It's really not going away. And now the part that's the most important part is the 250 millibar winds, because this wind pattern will determine whether is the dome of high pressure going to break away and dissipate, or is it gonna hold, and is it gonna persist for a while? Well, I'm sorry to say for all of you viewers out there over in Iraq and Iran, if there is any viewers in Iraq and Iran, it looks like according to the ECMWF and both the GFS, I'll show you in a minute, still keep that really strong clockwise flow around the region, which is going to make that high pressure system aloft linger, which will really keep the area hot for the next couple weeks at least. So now going into the 2 meter temperatures, again this is the GFS. This was at 12Z this morning, and again southeastern Iraq we have temperatures over 120 degrees. Now as you see, this is an overnight low this is 12Z, and it looks like the lowest the temperature really would be about a little bit over 100 degrees, towards 110 degrees. So that's very, very impressive. And again, it looks like our pattern is going to really stay warm. Temperatures really remaining well above the century mark for both daytime highs and even some nighttime lows. So it's really, really impressively record-breaking in my opinion. And again, this is the European, and the European's not as warm as the GFS, but still temperatures well above the century mark for most of the time over the northern sections of the Persian Gulf here. Now looking at the dew points, 2 meter dew points, what we just looked at was 2 meter temperatures, by the way. 2 meter dew points are about 80 degrees just around the whole Persian Gulf and Red Sea, very oppressive. And again, you know, the GFS shows really high dew points around this region, which makes it not the worst heat and humidity combination ever. Heat indices through the roof. I mean, I saw an article today at work that there was a heat index values of about 164 degrees over there in Iran, and you know, I mean, how much will I believe that? Well, that's up to me and how reliable the source is, but either way, it's going to be a hot day. So now looking at the 7-day temperature anomalies, the 7-day means, you know, very warm anomalies over the northern Persian Gulf region, you know, of at least 15 to 20 degrees above normal. Some days even going farther out, like about 30 degrees above normal. And again, the European shows this as well. Very warm anomalies in the same category, about 15 to 20 degrees above normal. Okay, so now going into this is the GFS maximum temperatures, and again this is at 12Z today, and this green blob right here is about 125 to 130 degrees. And as you see, this green blob and all these warm temperatures keep persisting throughout the region, just like you saw that upper level high pressure system does not look like it will dissipate anytime soon. And these are GFS 2 meter minimum temperatures, and temperature nighttime lows look like they'll still be around the century mark, if not a little bit above. So that's very, very hot. I mean, in the United States, in the continental United States, a hot day, a nighttime low temperature on a hot day would be in the 80s. and mostly the lower 80s. I mean, sometimes like when we have a real record-breaking heat wave, the low is like 88, and that's only mostly in the southern U.S. So this is just to put into perspective. I mean, the low is above the century mark, so it's really bad. So now these are the 2 meter temperature anomalies, and as you see, real warm anomalies over this region. Now going into the 500 millibar height anomalies, I have the EPS or the Euro ensemble, and then the 2 GFS ensembles, the GEFS and the GEPS. So as you see, as we go through time here, that ridge is not going away according to the EPS, as well as the GEPS and the GEFS both show this as well. This real warm anomalies again. Here's the GEFS. The ridge keeps building on itself essentially, and the temperatures don't look like they're really going to be changing all that much for a while. Again, real warm anomalies shown by the GEPS. Ridging really takes place over this region, so I would say people in the Middle East, drink plenty of water, avoid vigorous outside activities if that's possible. Never ever leave kids or pets in cars unattended, and just try to stay cool and make the best of the situation. So takeaways from this forecast discussion is I do not see the heat in the Middle East really letting up anytime soon. One can only hope it does, just for the people out there, because this is very oppressively hot. So this is student meteorologist Eric Drewitz with Weather International signing off. Thank you for watching this video, and have a great evening, great day.